It was raining heavily the night Aisha was rushed to the hospital. Her fourth daughter was about to be born, and her husband, Kunle, was nowhere to be found. In fact, he had stormed out earlier, screaming at the top of his lungs, "If it's another girl, don't come back to my house." Aisha, trembling in pain and soaked tears and rainwater, clutched her swollen belly and whispered to the nurse, "Please save my baby, even if it's a girl. She is still a child from God." And that night, under the dim hospital lights and without a single family member by her side, Aisha gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. But what followed that birth was years of pain, rejection, humiliation, and in the end, a victory no one saw coming. Kunle had always wanted a son. He made it no secret. From the moment Aisha had their first daughter, Miriam, the air in the home shifted. At first, it was subtle, a joke here and a grumble there. But after the second daughter, the third, then the mask fell off. "Na only girl you dey born? What did I marry you for?" he would say, his voice booming across the small compound, loud enough for neighbors to hear. Aisha would lower her head, trying to shield her children from his harsh words. She prayed day and night for peace, for patience, for strength. But Kunle's cruelty only worsened. He refused to pay their school fees. "These girls won't amount to anything," he would say. "Why waste money on them? They will just end up in a man's house, cooking and carrying babies." Aisha knew she couldn't change Kunle's mind, but she made a promise to herself the day her fourth daughter, Zainab, was born. "I will raise these girls to stand tall, even if it kills me." She started small. She sold akara in the mornings. She cleaned offices during the day. She plaited hair in the evening. She would come home exhausted, her hands blistered and feet swollen, but never without food or books for her girls. Miriam, her oldest daughter, would study under the candlelight while helping her sisters with their homework. Neighbors whispered, some mocked. She dey do pass herself. Na girl children she dey waste money and energy for. Others praised. Dat woman get strong mind oo. God go bless her one day. But none of that mattered to Aisha. She kept pushing. She kept climbing uphill. Even when Kunle chased them from the main house and locked their rooms, they managed. Aisha built a small shed beside the house where she and her daughters lived, cooked, studied, and grew. Years passed. Miriam got a scholarship to a federal university. She studied medicine. Fatima, the second daughter, excelled in tech and got a job with an international firm straight out of NYSC. Amina the third became a teacher and later opened her own private school for girls from poor homes. And little Zainab, the girl born during the storm, she became a lawyer, fighting cases for women like her mother, who had no voice. One by one, they broke barriers, lifted each other, and refused to let their father's rejection define them. And Kunle, he was still there, still bitter, still angry, still waiting for a son that never came. But now, the tables had turned. It was Miriam's graduation day. Aisha wore a simple lace gown with headgear, her face glowing with joy and pride. Her daughters surrounded her, all successful, all radiant. Cameras flashed, people cheered, and their names were called with honor. Kunle was there too, but not as a proud father. He stood in the background, uninvited, unnoticed. No one recognized him. No one clapped for him. Someone whispered, "Is that not the man who said his daughters were worthless?" And when Miriam walked up to give her speech, she paused and said, "Everything I am today, I owe to my mother, the strongest woman I know. She taught me that even when the world says no, a mother's love can push you through." The crowd erupted. Kunle lowered his head. For the first time in his life, he felt truly alone. Years passed. The girls built a beautiful house for their mother in the same community where they once lived in shame. Kunle, now old and weak, still lived in the same compound, now cracked and faded. Sometimes he would walk past the mansion and hear laughter, smell good food, and see cars parked outside. One day, he collapsed by the gate. Aisha, now a respected matriarch, saw him. She brought him inside, fed him, and called a doctor. Her daughters watched in silence. And when Kunle, in a shaky voice, asked, "Why are you helping me after all I did?" Aisha replied, "Because these girls you rejected, they carry my heart, and my heart forgives, even if I can't forget." This is the story of many women across the world, unseen, unappreciated, yet unbroken. Aisha was never given a single flower, but she grew a whole garden. And Kunle, he spent his life looking for a son, but in the end, the daughters he despised became the pillars he leaned on. Here are the several lessons from this story. 1. Never underestimate the power of a determined woman. Aisha's resilience turned a hopeless situation into a powerful legacy. One mother's sacrifice changed the lives of a generation. Second, all children, regardless of gender, are blessings. Kunle's obsession with having a son blinded him to the incredible gifts his daughters wear. Every child has value and potential, regardless of gender. Thirdly, education is a powerful weapon. Despite being denied support, Aisha knew education was the key to breaking the circle of poverty and oppression. Her daughter's success proves that investing in knowledge pays off. Number 4, bitterness and pride leads to isolation. Kunle's pride and harshness left him alone in old age. Number 5, what you plant today, you will surely reap tomorrow. Aisha planted hard work, love, and hope. Kunle planted rejection and cruelty. In the end, each harvested what they sowed. Number 6, forgiveness is strength, not weakness. Aisha's ability to forgive Kunle despite everything shows that true strength lies in compassion and humanity, not revenge. Number 7, support your children equally. Parents should support all their children equally, regardless of gender. Number 8, don't let someone's limitations define your worth. The girls refused to believe they were worthless just because their father said so. They rose above their limitations and proved their worth through actions. I can go on and on and on. This is a very, very interesting story. Therefore, I would love to hear from you. I want to know your opinion. What do you think? What lessons or contradictions do you have based on this story? Please comment down below. I want to see your comments. This is still your favorite channel, Ifijide's Folktales. Please don't forget to like this video. Click on the subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed, and share this video to your loved ones. See you in my next one. Bye-bye.